Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pit Paddock Race Show for July 30th. We're going to start with the only series to run this week, Formula One. It was looking like 1938 as the German team marched through Belgium to victory, with Mercedes finishing first and second at Spa. Russell was first, originally, Hamilton second, and McLaren's Oscar Piastri in third. But Russell obviously was later disqualified, handing the win to Hamilton and promoting Leclerc all the way up to third. Good for Ferrari.
Why was George DQ'd? Did he take part in a Greek-themed Olympic float that appeared to mock the Last Supper?
Did he have small shorts on and let his ballsack hang out during the race? I don't know. No, his car was actually underweight.
Oh, like an Olympic bicyclist.
Yeah. Maybe he should have had an extra cheeseburger for lunch or something.
Have you seen those guys? They're so skinny. They look like they vacationed at Auschwitz.
Those when they're not doping?
We're gonna get a stamp for that one. It's gonna be a little thing on YouTube that says Auschwitz was and explains the whole. It's comedy. Anyway, how far underweight was he?
3 pounds is what they said, or kilogram, whatever. Pounds. We're going to go with pounds.
Pounds in the free world. We say pounds.
And sources said he ran the tires too long and wasn't able to pick up enough marbles on the cool-down lap.
Yeah, I always wondered why those guys would drive off of the racing line on the cool-down lap. Like, oh, they're trying to pick up marbles. What for? Now we know.
I wonder how much, 3 pounds about is the how much they can pick up.
Yeah.
It didn't seem worth it, but I guess it is.
Plus, he ran those hard tires more laps than expected, so...
Good strategy.
Man, they must run really super close to the weight limit if that was enough to put him down.
He should have drove through one of the sand areas, maybe picked some of that up into the vents there.
If it was Canada, he could have drove over some gophers or... What's always running onto the track at Canada?
I don't know.
There's some little rodent that looks cute.
Is it beavers? That sounds Canadian.
You would expect to see beavers. Anyway. Leclerc only started on pole because of the wet qualifying. I would guess Ferrari is probably in 4th place right now. As far as, actual speed, probably Mercedes 3rd, Ferrari 4th.
Yeah. They've gone from, probably 2nd to 4th over the season.
Yeah, they were 2nd starting the season. Ferrari can't develop a car through the season. What's wrong with the Italians?
God, they're too busy taking time off or something in the middle of the season. I don't know.
Too busy not contributing to NATO?
They had a long lunch. Didn't have time.
Yeah. It was a Mercedes one, too. If not for the weight thing, it would have been. I'm not sure I'm excited about a resurgent Mercedes. 8 years of domination was enough.
That was more rough than the Red Bull domination years. I think it was longer, too.
Yeah. Didn't we have years when Ferrari won all but maybe 1 or 2 races?
Felt like it. They got a couple years. Mika Hakkinen jumped in and McLaren broke up Schumacher's run, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think Mercedes had what felt like the longest time on top. Maybe they should split the team into West Mercedes and East Mercedes.
Oh, yeah. That worked well. Well, it worked well for West Mercedes. If you were in East Mercedes, you probably weren't so happy.
Russell can be West.
Hamilton's East Mercedes. Or wait, no, an unnamed driver is East Mercedes.
Unnamed driver X. I'm going to guess it's not Logan Sargent.
No, not. Maybe they can bring back Doorknob. What was his name? Dornbos?
Dornbos. He was in the kart for a little bit too.
Yeah.
Doorknob.
Just Doorknob. That was his nickname. I was thinking it would have just been the Max show at Spa if he hadn't had the tin putt 10-spot grid penalty for taking too many engines. And yet, he wasn't able to get past fifth. Starting from 11th, he made it up to fifth, and that was kind of as far as he could go. Is Red Bull not really the fastest car in race trim?
I don't think they are anymore. I think Max has to drive the wheels off of it and have a good strategy now to stay in first. And so they're going to have to qualify there. They can't get... I remember, was it a sprint race? Maybe it was last year. He started 10th because of a penalty and drove up through the field in a sprint race.
Yeah, it was ridiculous to watch. I didn't enjoy it at all.
Well, Alpine had a special Deadpool and Wolverine livery last week.
I saw that.
That was pretty cool. It didn't really help them, though, because they finished 9th and 13th. But that's points, I guess.
They got, what do you get for 9th? 2 points?
2 points.
No?
2 points.
Magnussen would approve. You know what? I was looking at the livery. Like, should we call it the Deadpeen or Wolverpool?
Wolverpool sounds like a third-tier English soccer team.
Or like they merged Liverpool and Wolverhampton? What's that team?
Yeah, Wolverhampton.
Yeah. Merge them together.
Wolverpool.
Hey, let's talk about drivers in Formula One. Perez didn't help himself. Started P2 and lost 6 positions over the course of the race, while his teammate started P11 and gained 6 positions over the course of the race, not including the Russell disqualification.
On the bright side of that, he did make it into Q3 this week.
Oh, yeah, he didn't crash out.
He did not crash out.
You know what? There was rumors that there was going to be a shootout qualifying over the break between Ricciardo and Lawson for Perez's seat, but Horner came out and said that they don't plan to replace him over the break. I don't know if I believe that.
That sounds like they're going to decide if they are or not, and he just said that.
Yeah.
I hear stuff like that all the time from the management.
Yeah,
well, we're not even thinking about that right now. Yes, you are, and you already made up your mind. I know.
Yeah. And then you get a headline that, oh, guess what? Maybe we did decide to replace him after all.
I don't know. Maybe I'll start a lottery until how many days until Perez gets moved down to the junior team.
I'm gonna go with 17. 17 days from today. When are we recording? Today is the 30th. 17 days, and the announcement comes.
Is it? How many weeks off do they have?
4.
4. So I'm going to say after the 3rd week, that would be about 7. I'll go about 12. Maybe they do it early and hope that the talk dies down.
12 days. So the 11th for you and the 16th for me. Okay. We should write that down.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. We'll come back and talk about how wrong we were later. You know what? If he doesn't get sent down to the junior team, maybe he gets the dreaded reserve driver position.
What does the reserve driver even do?
I think he's like an equipment manager for the real drivers.
He just
polishes the helmets.
Get those helmets polished up back there.
I know when Ricciardo was reserve, he just did media appearances.
Right. It was everyone likes Ricciardo, so they're like, go do interviews and be excited. Somebody was racing IndyCar while they were reserve, and they stole them out of an IndyCar weekend just to be there because he might be sick. I remember that for a reserve driver once.
Was it Fittipaldi?
Yes. They just had him come to the track and sit there while somebody may or may not have been sick, and it was kind of BS. But, well, that's what the reserve driver's there for, I guess.
So, and it doesn't mean anything because Ferrari's reserve driver, whose name I can't even remember, didn't get called up when Sainz had appendicitis. They called up the F2 driver, Behrman.
Yeah. That's what the reserve driver's like, come on.
Yeah.
It's my one shot ever, and you're not even going to let me have this.
Yeah, I think reserve driver's like a fluff position.
Someone to just fill out the roster. He probably brings a little money just to be close to the team. Well, I guess the biggest driver news of the week was Carlos Sainz will be going to Williams, finally announced.
Wow.
Why would you go to the second worst team, I wonder?
Sources say Williams paid extra to have an appendix-free driver duo.
I guess they did.
Uh,
I really didn't expect the Williams move there.
No, I was betting on Audi, but the sources say that he really wanted Red Bull or Mercedes, and they just were not extending the offer to him, so he finally said, okay, Williams.
He didn't want to end up without a ride for the year.
Yeah. There's something about relationship or bad blood between Red Bull and the Sainz family. Did his dad drive for Red Bull in Dakar and then switch to Audi?
I don't remember. He probably did drive for Red Bull at some point in his career. Raced forever.
I can't recall if he drove for Red Bull or Mini, but he did switch to Audi this past year.
Oh God, Mini had a WRC car. That's right.
Yeah. Magnussen, still nothing.
I don't think he'll be in Formula One. I'm gonna go endurance cars, or I don't even know if he feels like doing IndyCar. He probably doesn't want to run the ovals.
No, I think we'll see him driving at night.
Yeah, some Le Mans series.
Yeah.
That seems like a nice retirement. You still get to race competitively, and you only have to go, like 6 weekends or 8 weekends a year?
Not as intense as Formula One. You get to relax, spend time with the family.
I'm thinking about doing that when I retire, just going to the Endurance Championship.
Oh, I'm sure I could put down a lap. I've got a lot of practice on Forza.
Get my hands warmed up.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get a GoFundMe page going to get him a ride somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would say you could probably raise enough money for a Williams or a Haas seat, but they're already taken, so I don't know where you'd put him. The Andretti team? Oh, no. Not for 2025, at least. We've had 7 different winners in 13 races, not counting the Russell DQ. Is this real competition, or is Red Bull just having a run of bad luck?
I think they're getting caught. I think it's coming out to be one of the better seasons with this many different winners. Did Red Bull get themselves enough of a lead early on to hold on to the constructors? I think so, but
it looks like it, at least for the drivers.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone catching Max, but yeah, we were both complaining about another boring season. What Formula One needs to do something.
I'd put the race on in the morning and drift off a little bit.
Even Lewis Hamilton said when he was little he would watch the start of the race and then take a nap and then wake up to watch Michael Schumacher win the race.
Like, what happened? Like, I'll catch the highlights, I think.
Yeah. It's like basketball. You're like, third and fourth quarter are pretty much the same. Just second, third. I'll just watch the first and fourth.
Now it's actually something going on the entire race through. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I was thinking they need to change the budget cap format. I still think that's not a bad idea to break up the budget into divisions, like you have to set aside X dollars for development through the season and kind of limit how much you can use developing the car initially, but I don't know how you enforce that.
That's tough to enforce.
Yeah. Sources say that Red Bull has just wrung as much speed as they can out of that car, and everybody else is basically copying the good parts and catching up earlier than usual. Usually this happens in the fifth year.
That's true.
So
yeah, I'm fine with it. Makes races a lot better to watch.
Oh yeah. Not excited about the next formula with the 50% electric and.
Oh, I wonder if. Yeah, that's gonna be.
I don't know how well.
Slow.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know what? Those rules still aren't 100% yet, so hopefully they dial that back to 25% electric, something.
Doesn't need that much. Well, Alpine's Famine stepped down.
Was that really how you pronounce his name? Famine?
That's how in my head I see it. So.
It's French. Yeah. Just don't pronounce like 2 of the letters. Famille or Bam. I think it's just Bam.
I always pronounce French incorrectly, despite them.
Famine. Like the team didn't get to eat for a few years.
He also announced that Renault is scrapping its power unit as well, which was talked about earlier.
So instead of a work steam, there'll be like a half work steam like McLaren?
Yeah, they'll make a chassis and probably rebrand the Mercedes as something.
I heard that too. They're going to use Mercedes 2026 engine.
Good choice right now, I guess.
Which, I mean, McLaren's done that forever, either a Honda or a Mercedes. But McLaren's an actual car manufacturer as well. Don't they make their own engines for McLaren street cars?
I don't think they do. I think they use a different company's engines. I'm not 100% on that. But I think that they don't build the engines for their cars.
That just sounds like cheating.
They just make cool cars. They don't have engines from somebody else.
Okay. Well, Alpine did bring back Flavio Briatore.
Get him back on the box.
Oh yeah.
I want him on the radio.
Actually, I miss Gunther on the radio.
No, the new Haas guy is less than exciting, if not better for the team, but it's not as interesting.
I want to go see the F1 movie just to see some more Gunther.
Is he? He's not even in the. Doesn't even get to be in the show anymore.
No, they should put him on the F. He should be one of the commentators.
He was at the U.S. Grand Prix,
Yeah.
talking to people, doing interviews. I don't know what. That might have been the British channel that had him. I saw him there. I saw a story that the FIA wants to stop cursing on the radio, which is stupid. Max said to F off. I'll say what I want to say. While I was reading that, I found out, I didn't know this at the time, but Yuki was fined $43,000 for saying on the radio, "These guys are effing retarded." Talking about, I don't know, someone else driving.
Somebody
was in his way.
Yeah.
$43,000 fine for saying that. That's ridiculous. Then he said the fine was effing retarded. Because it is.
The fine is effing retarded.
It's not like, hey, cool it. No, fine. And then he had, like, an apology. I'm so sorry, I didn't know. You know how people do the apology when they say something.
We should get a show with Yuki Tsunoda and Santino Ferrucci.
Santino would be fun. Since the paddock, he's beloved by the entire paddock, apparently.
Who was it that he called one driver, his teammate was your little boyfriend on Gay Pride Month or something? I think he was making fun of the Penske team.
Can we get more politically incorrect driver comments, please? It's just more fun.
They need something to spice it up. Well, again, we have no racing in Formula One next week. So
I didn't even look at what's coming up in a month because it's not important right now.
It's the Dutch Grand Prix, so nothing but orange.
Sounds like a Max home race.
It's a shorter track, so I don't know. That might be, if Ferrari fixes their whatever problem they're having, they might have a shot.
You have a cranky fan base if it's not Max on the podium.
They're used to Max for the last 3 years he's won that
Ever
race?
since that race came back, it's Max has won it, I think.
The race came back because of Max, pretty much. I just get confused when I see all the orange. I don't know, is that McLaren orange or is that Dutch orange? I can't tell.
Dutch love their orange.
You know what? They should trade pastry for Max so that we know the orange is, it's for both.
That would make maybe Max will move after this year since they're not good anymore.
Or McLaren should just go away from the papaya. I always remember them as black, like silver and black.
Yeah, that's what they had back in the Mika Hakkinen days.
Kimi Räikkönen.
And then they went to the orange. That's when they started sucking.
Yeah. I don't know why they went orange.
Well,
weren't they red and white?
That's
in the old days?
the
McLaren?
The McLaren when they had Marlboro.
Yeah, they look like a Marlboro package back then.
I guess it just depends on what the sponsor is.
Who's their sponsor now? I don't even know.
Papaya.
The papaya industry?
Google Chrome is on the tires.
I don't see like a big sponsor.
No, I don't remember. That's
Yeah.
probably not good for their sponsor. Maybe you should do a better job.
Yeah.
Well, on to the busy NASCAR weekend, I guess. There was no NASCAR this week. The series that no longer recognizes Easter or Mother's Day has decided to take a 2-week break for the Summer Olympics.
Does that have anything to do with the fact that NBC shows some of the races?
I think that's why that happened, yes.
Do you think they would have done it if Fox had all the races?
No, I think they'd be running
Yeah.
if Fox was race. Yeah.
I'm reading that Team Penske is looking for a championship three-peat after winning the last year was Blaney, the year before that was Logano.
Well, that's true.
The rumor is team owner Roger Penske thanked his software engineers for all their hard work.
Did they put a push to pass button on their NASCAR cars?
Yeah, they did something.
Oh, I forgot Logano was the champion. He's been running so terribly this year that.
All the Fords have been running terribly. It's been Toyota Chevy all year.
And then Blaney has snuck in once or twice on some kind of fuel mileage type of run and got a win. I don't know. Can anyone beat Hendricks with the Larson in first in points, Elliott, Byron's in sixth, even Bowman, who has been nowhere all year, is like ninth in points, sneaking up there.
Hendricks or
Was it Penn?
Hendricks or well, I don't think it's Penske.
Gibbs probably is the only other team that I think would.
The Toyota team. It's gonna be one of those. Yeah, because Penske's guys. I see Blaney's in 5th. Logano's in 15th. Cindric's 19th.
Logano was out of the points there for a while, but he got a win the other week, so he got into the playoffs. So, but the way he's running, he's not going to do much. And Cindric snuck in with a win too. So, but he hasn't had a lot of consistency this year.
Do you have to have a win to make it into the playoffs?
Yes.
At least one.
Well,
right?
They do. A win gets you in automatically, and then they fill out the rest of the 16 with points.
Oh, it's up to 16 now. That's
Yeah.
right. It was originally 10?
They did that. They would
The first
reset it
year?
10 and run 10 races. Then they changed it. So the current iteration of the playoffs is 16. And then so they'll run 3 races. The third race is the cutoff. They cut out 4. And then 3 races, they cut out another 4. Until they get to 4 at the championship race.
Still more than college football.
That's true for now. I think they're going to expand that.
12. It's 12
Is
next
it
year.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, that should be. They should just do 64.
Yeah. What's wrong with 64?
Let's just cut out like that stupid game you play against a Division I school and turn it into a playoff game.
How many cupcake games do you need at the beginning of the season?
I don't know. Are you Ohio State? Do you need 6 cupcake games at the beginning of the season?
I think literally last year Michigan had 3 cupcake games to start out. I'm like, really? You need 1 cupcake game. That's it. And then, start playing some football.
But they'll be ranked in like the top 15. Anyway, well, I was gonna break down the standings and go through everyone here, but it doesn't actually matter because of the playoffs. So you get a win or you higher up in points, you're in, and anyone's got a shot. But I would say no one above 10th has any chance of making the top 4.
Yeah.
And so one guy's going to get hot in the last 4 races, and he's going to win the championship. Like Blaney won 2 of the last 4 races. Before that, Logano won 2 of the last 4. It's usually how it works.
Maybe one of the Gibbs cars. Maybe the little Gibbs.
Bell, Hamlin. I don't know. It's like who's hot those last 4 races.
I'm betting on Little Ty.
That would be pretty.
Has he won one?
No, he still has not won a race yet.
So he hasn't quite. He might qualify on points.
I think he's top 10 in points right now.
Yeah.
So he'll make it.
But yeah, it would be nice to see him get hot at the end. Although I'd rather see Chevy win than Toyota. So. Yeah.
Oh well. Well, coming up next week is not NASCAR. We've got 2 more weeks off.
Yeah, this coming weekend and then the next weekend, and then we'll have some NASCAR again.
Jeez, what a boring 2 weeks of racing.
Feels like winter.
Moving on, there was no IndyCar either, as they also took a break for the Summer Olympics.
My sources say Team Penske was recruited to write software codes for the U.S. mountain biking team.
I hope they do.
Yeah, figuring out how to put like a push to pass on the bike. McLaren CEO Zach Brown. He's not from Phoenix, right? He's from California.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Zach Brown in an interview. So he's president of McLaren. So he's over F1 and over IndyCar and whatever else McLaren does.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said IndyCar's problem is it has too many cars. And then he said, Indy has too many wrecks. They need more quality passing over quantity passing because it's worked well for F1.
When F1 is just now getting some passing back. It's been...
Yeah.
Were some races where there's like the only quality passes through the pits, Monaco or something like that.
Oh yeah, you can jump a guy with an undercut.
I think the IndyCar wrecks will take care of themselves as like we've got Prima coming in. The more quality teams that get put in, the more it will push out the pay-to-play drivers that hang out in the back and cause wrecks. Like I don't want to name any names, but like Stingray Rob,
Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead,
Robin Rasputin.
Yeah.
Who's the new guy that they replaced for Teddy Porkchops? They kicked Teddy Porkchop. Siegel?
Nolan Siegel?
Siegel. He's not pay to play, is he?
Unclear, maybe.
Okay.
But they said he wasn't. That's not why they brought him in.
Okay.
He was good at the lower series, so I don't think that's a pay-to-play situation.
Well, IndyCar's off for 3 weeks. So 2 weeks for NASCAR, 3 for Indy, 4 for Formula One. I think it kind of lines up with work ethic. Like America is good work ethic, and then IndyCar is kind of like partly America, partly foreign. Then you get the lazy Europeans who just take lots of time off.
The summer vacation.
Yeah.
That was on the schedule anyways, wasn't it? The 4 weeks.
They do the 4 weeks off every year for, I don't know why, because they're Europe. That's why. So next up for IndyCar is more not racing.
Great.
And we had 2 more weeks to wait.
Next week is going to be dry, isn't it?
Yeah, we got nothing next week. Well, we got a week of just like it's Easter. Or wait, no, because Formula One does run on Easter.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they're godless heathens over there.
Maybe I'll just record myself playing some Forza.
I'll just make zoom noises. Ford is building a Raptor to compete in Dakar. Like, not the truck Raptor, but more of a car. It looks more like the Audi, except better.
The SUV-looking class that they have for Dakar?
Yeah, kind of that crossover-looking thing, like something your grandma might drive, but it goes off-road pretty good.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I've been wondering, like, what are you guys doing? Put your trucks in here.
Every year I look for Ford or Chevy or somebody in Dakar, and they just never. There's a couple Fords, but they're always privateers.
They run the rally or the car class?
Yeah, they take the actual Raptor truck and modify it and run it.
I remember Hummer ran in there for a few years with Robbie Gordon's had a team.
The Gordini?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Oh, he was fun for the interviews because he said what he wanted to say.
He was just doing it because he could. He wasn't.
He was just having fun. Olympic report?
I guess.
Yeah.
Olympic report. Team USA leads the medal count as of this exact moment with 20. China is in second with 15.
I watched some fencing.
I did watch that gold medal match.
Yeah, the one with the épée with the 2 American women.
It was the women, the 2 women,
yeah,
and it was they were both American.
Yeah, Canada came in third, just like in the Americas. America, United States first and second, Canada third.
That was one of the first fencing matches I've watched because it's not on TV that often.
Oh yeah, I do like the streaming Peacock. So good job, NBC.
That part's nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug for your Peacock streaming service because you're doing really good for the Olympics.
I saw a clip on the internet of someone in fencing, and he just started like hopping. Did you see that clip? Just
No.
jumping up and down to avoid getting
Did it work?
hit. I don't know because I only watched it for a few seconds. It looked like, in a video game when you're just hopping around avoiding gunfire. Is what it reminded me of. Maybe that's where he got the idea from.
Like the guy on Mortal Kombat that
Yeah.
did like the monkey fight.
Yeah,
That didn't work out for him either, did it? In the film.
probably didn't work out.
Fencing, until you watch fencing, you don't realize how super fast it is.
They're real quick.
It's like hockey. Like, oh my God, he scored. That.
Nobody did any climbing. There was no chandelier swinging. This is awful.
Yeah, nobody did the spin moves or swished their lightsaber around multiple times
I
for
was
no
waiting
reason.
for some quippy one-liners at each other,
Yeah,
but no, none of that. I refuse to watch it anymore.
yeah.
Well,
I try to tell my children those spinny moves you see on TV, that just get you stabbed in real life.
try not to watch a lightsaber fight critically, because
Yeah.
you would be like, well, what? Like going behind the back to do? I'm like, that's not smart. You just left your whole front open and it can stab you.
Remember the first Indiana Jones when the guy comes out with the sword and does all the tricks and Indiana Jones just shoots him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it would be like in a real sword fight. The fencing guy or girl would just be like, stab, you're dead.
Well, the opening ceremony was not a great start to the Olympics. That was pretty interesting there.
They pulled that off of YouTube.
Did they? Because it
Yeah.
was so bad, they started pulling clips of it off.
Yeah, they pulled it off of YouTube, and the excuse was, "Oh, we don't have the rights to put that on YouTube."
The Olympics don't have the rights to the. Okay, they went like, "Oops, let's pretend this didn't happen."
Oh, that's
I did.
politicians' excuse. We're not mocking Christians in the Last Supper. No, we're showing diversity. Come on.
Okay, guys.
That was just weird.
I still, despite that, managed to watch a couple of. I did watch the gold medal game, or the gold medal fencing match.
Good match.
Watched some USA basketball, some USA soccer, a little bit, and some rugby. And then I realized if you're watching on broadcast, NBC jams more commercials into this than a NASCAR race.
Oh,
So I recommend the Peacock re-airing or delayed, because that's the best way to do it.
the streaming.
Yeah. And then what else annoys me? I get really annoyed when they're showing sports and then they cut away into like an 8-minute segment telling me about how this athlete overcame all of this terrible stuff and now he's you know what? I want to watch the sports. I don't care.
Yeah, save that for the Lifetime channel.
Yeah, put that. Yeah, the Lifetime channel broadcast. You could just do 7 straight hours of tear-jerking stories on how terrible life is for every athlete that's made it to the Olympics.
Lifetime and Hallmark.
We don't. I'd just show the sports, please.
Well, men's USA soccer picked up where they left off, losing 0-3 to France. And they did beat New Zealand, but, my son's 7th grade team could beat New Zealand.
Well, lucky for them, they had Guinea was the other team they played. They won today also.
Oh, crap.
So they get
I
to-
didn't watch that one yet.
No, that one was on this morning.
Well, that should put them into the knockout rounds, right? Yeah. Okay.
Well, they'll lose. I mean, maybe, probably.
You know what? The chances of winning men's USA soccer team are about as good as Haas locking out a front row in F1.
So we got to get some rain or something to get
Yeah, we need some rain, and then you can at least get one USA team in the final.
Yeah, well, that's because all of our best athletes are playing football or basketball.
Yeah, where the money is, because if you're a elite athlete, what are you going to do? Go play for hardly any money or make millions of dollars? And we don't pay millions in soccer.
No.
It's not like Europe. In Europe, even South America, Central America, that soccer pays the most, but not in the United States. Here, real football pays the most.
And basketball.
Yeah.
Football's big, though.
If you're really tall and slim, you can do basketball. Or, unless you're like Charles Barkley. The round mound of rebound. He was on ESPN, Barkley?
Oh, he does the TNT broadcast.
TNT, that's right.
He's the only, that's the only, like, pregame show worth watching.
Oh, Barkley's funny.
Barkley and Shaq.
Well, then they tried to put him on a morning show with some woman, and it lasted like 3 episodes.
Did he say something bad?
I think they just weren't that interesting. You know, you got to have the right audience.
Yeah. Oh, well, what are we supposed to do next week?
Next week, I don't know, maybe we should go undercover again and get some dirt on the teams like we did in early July.
Figure something out.
Yeah.
They're all on vacation, probably.
Oh yeah, we could just put a on vacation like Europe next week. Post that. All right, that's it for the show. Everybody enjoy the Olympics.